Greetings, folks, and welcome to the Atomic Salt Live Show. This is episode 96. We're finally back from Las Vegas Open. It's been a little bit wild since then.
Yes, it took us this long to get back from Las
Yes.
Vegas.
So we're going to discuss everything in the tabletop hobby world in this show. And as always, I'm joined by my buddy Casey. Casey, how have you been?
You know what? I'm just happy to be here talking to you tonight. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, our last episode, we were leading up into LVO. LVO went by crazily fast, and then
yeah, it's always these things always go faster than you think they will. Like, I've got plenty of time, and then you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do with all my time here?
Yeah. So, since we're talking about Las Vegas Open, yes, Casey, myself, a good handful of other Utah players went down and tore up Vegas for a weekend over Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it will not be over Super Bowl Sunday next year.
Yeah, it's gonna. I wonder if we're going to see more or less people because of that. Hopefully more.
I imagine we're going to see a lot more.
Yes, and folks, if you want to see some photos, it's on the Facebook page. But LVO blew up, not in a literal sense, but size-wise. Last year we were all cramped into one hall. This year we were in two.
And we still managed to fill up those halls.
Yes, it was crazy.
Like, I mean, we weren't packed cheek to cheek, but excuse me, there was still we filled it up. There was not a lot of room left over.
Yeah, big turnout for 40K. They took up one room, the one big room that we were all in last year. That was all 40K. All the vendors, everybody was in the other one. We got a lot more vendors this year. Forge World came out. Cool Mini was out there. And yeah, I mean, we had a whole lot of fun.
Yes, we did. It was great. Do you want to talk a little bit about how we did?
Yeah, we went down and Casey and myself, we went and played Infinity for the weekend. And then Sunday I was doing painting. But yeah, Infinity. Yeah, that was crazy.
So saying that I played Infinity is a strong word for what I did. I more like watched people wreck me in Infinity.
Yeah, but you didn't get last place, so that's always or were you trying to get last place?
After the first part of the first day, I was actually trying for last place. And somehow I still managed not to get last place despite losing every game. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
When you fail to fail.
I know, right? It's a really weird feeling. I'm like, yay?
Yeah, first day, Friday. Yeah, I mean, we were only there. We drove in Thursday. And man, it just felt like it's 5 days for us, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, drive in, play, have fun, drive out. Yeah, that was pretty much like a full week of fun almost. But yeah.
So we participated in the Infinity events that went on Friday and Saturday. So Friday was our limited insertion matchups. And then Saturday was our just a regular ITS style.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Is there anything you kind of want to cover out of there?
I mean, even after at the end of the day, it was foggy. I mean, it was a lot better this year for like having water around, um, being able to eat. But man, doing three rounds for limited insertion is just like it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think probably it was because of the water situation, and also, we were a little bit more prepared for it. But I was feeling pretty good after all the matches.
Yeah.
I mean, tired definitely. I mean, you don't come out of these things not being tired.
No. I mean,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
I felt good.
we did pretty well ish. I mean, I got I think we had what 28 people in the limited insertion.
That sounds right.
Yeah, and I got top 10. So I'm like, hey, I made the top third that I was hoping for.
Yeah, you can't really argue with the way you placed. So
And yeah, some tough competition. I remember I forget which player it was I went up against, but apparently he's a real powerhouse player, and I was like, all right, nothing like going against aliens when you're playing Assassin Bram. But,
ouch. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna go for the throat, and I'm just like, all right, go Assassin, go, do your thing, and caught him off guard. Like, all right, but yeah, Friday, real fun day, and then Saturday. Oh boy, that was a long stretch. Doing 4 rounds in a day.
Yeah, again, I tried to make sure that between every match I was drinking plenty of water. I had a little bit of like emergency stuff that I was sprinkling in my drink, so I was you know, I think that helped.
Yeah, I had the
I make no magical claim of taking lots of vitamins. I know the science and that they have a limiting impact. However, I think that it did still help.
well, I mean, you're bleeding, not you're sweating out all that stuff. So anything you can put back into your system, I mean, it's got to be good.
True.
But yeah, after after round three, you kind of start feeling it.
Yeah, you kind of hit your last game. You're like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I'm not in the top three. It's
yeah, when you're like you kind of know where your placing is, and you're like, oh, I'm in mid pack. All right, let's just have fun this last round.
yeah, it's kind of nice. It takes the pressure off, and then you're just having fun. It's like, yeah, let's get to meet this person across from me, and so on.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
I mean, everybody I played against was pretty cool. How about yourself?
yeah, I'll say I had no. Well, I mean, I had bad games, but I had no bad opponents. Like I never got stuck with the proverbial that guy. So I'm not saying that didn't exist. I don't think it did. There was one or two who were a little less socially adept than others, but at the same time, still nice guys to play with.
Yeah, and shout
It,
out
I
to
yeah, I didn't play anyone that I wouldn't mind playing again.
yeah, shout out to Joe Traveler, who set everything up, rocked it out pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, Joel. I know he was fighting his laptop battery a lot, but
Oh, yeah,
yeah, Joel did a fine job in running a tournament of that size with very little support.
yeah. And there's a lot of. I mean, you got to get these conventions to play, but also you got to buy stuff because there's vendors there, and I ended up having the Ninja Shop. Did you Did you get anything good, Casey?
you know, um, I got several things good that I think. First of all, out of the stuff that I I bought the three remaining models for my Masons from Guild Ball. One of them I'm working on right now. This is Wrecker. He's uh, the new mascot. And I've got Granite. She's one of the new players. She's going to be a defensive player. And then I have the new version of Harmony, and she'll be interesting. She's a nice utility type character.
Nice.
So I'm really excited to get them on the table, which is why I'm painting them right now.
It was good to
So
see Guild Ball there as well. I mean, they sold out, right?
yeah, I'll be honest. There's a part of me that's like, man, I should have been playing Guild Ball. I mean, maybe it's the fact that I lost every single Infinity game, but yeah, I was like, Guild Ball is looking pretty darn fun over there. So I know they also had like a lot of other little events. It's just too bad. They had some people from Steamforged come out there, and I was talking to them, and and running an event over in the United States is just so new for them, and they were having kind of a hard time getting everything together in time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, hey, I might have come over and played, but just I had to make a choice on stuff, and they're like, yeah, we get that. So they were really cool. But yeah, so I bought the rest of my Guild Ball faction, so I'll probably be good. Probably shouldn't need to buy anything new for this for the next year or so.
They
I
probably won't
think.
have anything coming out since then, right?
Yeah, these are all the most newly released players. So, yep. So I'm up on the power curve,
Nice.
or well, I mean, as up on the power curve as I can be. And then I also bought a new airbrush.
Oh, that's right.
So I got an airbrush made by a company called Grex. Grex actually does like precision tools and stuff, and then for some odd reason they also make an airbrush.
Hey, you know what? I come to find out a lot of these companies, yeah, uh, the hobby stuff is not their first line of work.
Yeah, it was interesting. I looked at a number of years ago before I got into airbrushing. Grex was one of the first ones I'd ever seen, and I had looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, that looks amazing. But I was kind of taken off guard by the price. Um, and they're definitely not cheap airbrushes. These are, I mean, you're not going to pay like Harder and Steinbeck type prices for these, but they're not cheap. And so, but coming back around to it now that I'm kind of used to it, and I was expecting to have to pay that kind of money. Like last year at LVO, they had Badger there,
Yeah.
and it was in the neighborhood of a decently specced out Badger brush. So it wasn't, the sticker shock wasn't as bad this time around, and Badger didn't show up, and Grex was there, and so they got my money. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about Badger at all. It was just like, I'm looking for a new airbrush, and that's who showed up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, come to find out, yeah, Badger was off in Germany doing another doing a toy expo. So, yeah, con season, it's in full swing.
Oh, yeah, and I'm not saying like, oh, you guys missed the boat on my one single purchase. I can tell you exactly how much they care about losing my business.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, vendors wise, yeah, I got picked up some stuff for Dark Age, some new stuff for Wrath of Kings from Cool Mini. Meeting those guys was pretty cool, especially at the end of their Wrath of Kings week, and got to say hi to the Tectonic Craft guys who make um, my tray, and yeah, uh, bought some stuff from Forge World. I was so close to getting some word bearers, but just not there yet.
You're trying to trigger me, sir, and I'm not going to let you do it. Not on the show. Not on the show.
But yeah, and then we also entered into a painting competition. Well,
We
we entered
did.
we entered into many painting competitions, but we finally found the right one.
Yeah, you want to explain that comment just a little bit?
Yeah, so um, Draconic Awards, they were going to be down there. They're like, oh yeah, cool, cool. They were there last year, and then a few weeks before that, we get an announcement like, yeah, uh, uh, Chung's not going to be able to make it. A lot of people uh, who organize that stuff weren't going to make it for several different reasons. And we're like, well, crap, is there going to be a painting competition? Everybody we asked, we're like, organizer wise, we're like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're like, okay, cool. Do you have any info? No, it's coming. And that seems to be like all the answers that we got until before we left. And we get down there, we're like, hey, we got these miniatures for the painting competition. And everybody's like, what painting competition?
Yeah, and they would be like, well, so and so is running it, and another person's like, I'm not running it, and yeah, it was kind of a cluster. I mean, granted, this was something that they were all pulling together kind of at the last minute, in addition to like all their other plethora of jobs that they were doing.
Yeah.
So,
And
I mean, uh, a big thanks goes out to the frontline guys and to everybody else who helped with that, for making that happen, because that really was a last minute thing, and they all stepped up, and so
yeah,
yeah.
they did a great job. Like at first we were like, oh, um, because the Warhammer television guys were there. And like, was it you, Casey, who's like, hey, yeah, bring the stuff over to these guys, and that's the painting competition. We're like, all right.
Frankie told me that. He's like, well, let's just put it over here because it's, they've kind of got this area roped off, and you guys mind watching it. They're like, oh yeah, sure, and then I guess they kind of saw, and they're like, we should do a 40K or a Warhammer painting competition, and then we're like, well, we got to get our non 40K stuff out of there, and
So yeah, and like yeah, finally we walk over and like, oh look, registration table. I mean, it's Saturday, so everybody's who's there is supposed to be there doing their stuff, and they're like, oh look, here's this table full of miniatures. Let's go throw our stuff into this and see how it goes.
yeah, it was literally that slapdash for us. But we got our stuff in. So Aaron Lovejoy, I believe he was the one who did all the painting, or he
Uh,
did all the judging, or
he was
he
one of
he
them.
was he was one of the judges, and we had a couple of other gentlemen. I don't know who they were.
Vin Stahl and the guy that kept calling Israel.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure he was because he entered in, so
Well,
he might not have actually entered in.
I think they had judges were also participants.
Israel he's the head painter for Frontline Gaming.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. I'm like everybody's calling this guy Israel. I'm like, who?
Because his name is Israel.
Well, I don't know. So I mean, I have friends that call Texas because they're from Texas. But yeah, not much of as and as in awards and everything, but I heard competition was pretty tough. But our buddy Casey here ended up getting the third place in whatever category we were ended up in.
Yeah, they had a small figure, a large figure, and then a squad category. And so yeah, I took there it was funny because it was Sunday morning, come down and you and I were just kind of wandering in there. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. There's everything. I'll take a look at it in a few minutes. And you're like, hey, you gotta come look at this. I'm like, yeah, I'll be over here in a second. I'm talking to I don't remember who I was talking to. Or I was looking at something like, no, get over here. And I was like, oh wow, okay. So deeply honored. So it was stiff competition, and I think there's a lot of other great models there, but I'm I'm very happy.
Yeah, it came down to, I guess they were like, it came down to nitpicking between some of our stuff. So that's always good.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I think when you saw like the top. I mean, like I said, first of all, there was so much great stuff there that it you can't feel bad, right?
Yeah.
Like there was just so much good stuff there.
Well, it was good actually to see people bring stuff because how last minute everything was. Uh, I was thinking of just people would just be like, all right, I'm done playing. I'll pull this out of my bag, throw it in.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. So, but yeah, that was fun. Then I didn't really, third prize was essentially the card that said third place on it. However, I showed it to the guys over at Table Wars, and I started taking some pictures of my model on their macro mats. And the guys were like, "Hey, are you interested in taking more pictures in front of these?" And and we had some other business that we had been doing too, and so I ended up taking home a set of macro mats free of charge.
Nice.
And let me tell you, I love those things. I broke them out the other night. They really only take like a couple minutes to set up, a couple minutes to set up, a couple minutes to break down, and even like your work in progress stuff just looks so much better on top of these things. So I'm going to start using these a lot.
Nice.
So and it's kind of interesting, like switching between the three different backgrounds, seeing the differences that the background color actually has on your photographs. Like
Yeah,
I didn't
there's
really I didn't
the
really
whole
think.
warm and cool aspect.
Yeah, and then like the blue color sheen or color transition. Yeah. So yeah, so I took that home. Uh, I got I had a couple of other companies hand me a little a couple little pieces of stuff here and there, which was really nice. So yeah, um, I got a cool little piece from every little war game. I'm going to use that as and try and build a little diorama to take pictures in front of, and then also, uh, oh, the swag bag.
Oh yeah, that's right. Uh, you were one of the few lucky ones that got one of the swag bags.
Yeah, it cost a couple extra bucks over the.
Yeah, swag bags at LVO. Little bit more than your normal ticket. They go out pretty fast, but it's a good deal of stuff. You get more stuff than what your ticket cost is. Uh, they just imagine just well, yeah, you walk up and like they hand you this big bag of stuff from all the vendors and everything. It was it's some of the stuff you may use, some of the stuff you won't, but I mean, hey, it's a good deal for what you get, and they sell out real quick, so it's always a good thing to pick up. But then, like, yeah, Sunday was Super Bowl. Our Infinity only lasted Friday, Saturday, and pretty much everything was cleaned up by then. So um, I took painting classes, and uh, the ones I took were all just happened to be with Aaron Lovejoy, and real good instructor. First class I learned was monochrome, which it's a skill that I think I'm gonna use more for practice because monochrome painting is very much. Um, oh, there he is.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realize I dropped out. Where did I drop out at?
You were talking about the swag bag.
Yeah, so lots of cool stuff in there. Lots of cool stuff. Very happy with it. Parted it all out. Made my hotel fees back. So
That's good. Yeah, and I was just talking about Sunday. Took some painting classes, monochrome, expressive faces, and freehand. I don't know if this will show up. Yeah, learned how to do some freehand work.
yeah, you had some absolutely beautiful freehanding uh,
Yeah,
in that class.
it's some of these like technical skills. I just haven't um, wanted to try because a lot of the stuff lately it just seems to me just getting it done for the table. So it's good, nice to have a good challenging class to figure out how to do these other things.
Yeah, you can kind of get into a rut sometimes. Just all right, let me bang out my army, let me get this done. And so yeah, getting that opportunity to kind of stretch yourself and giving yourself an excuse to stretch yourself is great.
Yeah, I wanted to take more classes, but it's a choice between the classes you want to take and events you want to participate in.
I know, right? It's just always that way.
But yeah, I will say though it boosted my urge to paint again. Like right now, I'm working on this Colby Sterling for a buddy, and just trying to put in some of the techniques I learned.
And that's the biggest thing, right? Is just to practice this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then yes, and what once I get a little bit more ambitious, I got this space bull terrier bust.
yeah, what the heck is that? Like, where's that from?
So I found this. Uh, it was I think through one of my painting buddies on Facebook. I think it was Elizabeth Breckley. It's like she knows this. It's raccoon miniatures out of China, and
Mm-hmm.
he's got a space otter, a space hippo, the bull terrier, and a warthog. And it's just this little bust line that he does. And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." And then I get a message. He's like, "Hey, they're available for sale now." I'm like, "Well, you know what? I got a little extra money uh, from a buddy paying me for some stuff." I'm like, "All right, cool." I'm like, "I'll pick this thing up." It's a nice sculpt, real. What's I think what's really cool about this? There's no photos of paint jobs.
Oh, nice. So you're not gonna feel like you have to go down a certain direction with it.
Yeah, and so like you've got the bottom part here, the two hoses, the head, the helmet, and those like little lollipop that he's uh, chewing on.
Yeah, that's just such a funky little dude. It's really kind of cool. Like at first I was like, I don't know about that, but it's kind of growing on me.
Yeah, I had the hardest time figuring out which one I wanted to get, but I was like, you know what, bull terrier, that's cool, and like what's going to be interesting is how do I paint him? because I'm like, do I go like a normal dog? Do I go spacish dog? Give him a wild tattoo in the face? Do the old Spuds McKenzie and just the one blackout eye?
Um, Freehand, lots of freehand on him. Yeah, give him like a cool tribal tattoo or something. It makes absolutely no sense, but hey, it's a space dog, so it doesn't have to.
And then it's like, yeah, there's so many options on this thing, and just the amount of cool details around here. Like there's vents everywhere. There's knobs and whatnot. Like I can make them. I can do really clean, or I could do real dirty. A little mix of both. Like, what story do I want to tell on this?
Yeah. Um, Speaking of busts, one of our favorite companies has their Kickstarter going.
Oh yeah, Lux Umbra, or Infinity's side project for some of their employees.
Yeah, I'll admit, like the Tiger Soldier bust, I think looks amazing. Um, they just unlocked a large version of Ajax, which I think is. We haven't actually seen any renders of it yet. I don't think, but
No, but from I've been kicking on them. I'm like, hey guys, what's this gonna look like? Hey, guys. So yeah, it's Infinity Bust. So they've been teasing these for a while now. The Mobile Brigada was in the Angel Heraldez book. Uh, they the Dothrasi Witch Soldier, the Tiger Soldier looks great. Uh, Tariq Mansouri looks angry, looks like he needs coffee. And then they got the Oyori pilot. They got the
which isn't a bust actually.
it's a
It's a
75
large.
mil. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's a large scale miniature, and the Ajax same scale, but we know Ajax to be very large in the game itself. So he's going to be the same scale as the Oyori pilot, but he's going to be 90 millimeters tall.
so I made a joke and it really didn't translate because they're like, oh yeah, look, it's the Oyori pilot from the Oyori, and it lines up with, and they were kind of showing it next to like the Oyori pilot pinup model, that they did as a
Yeah, the
uh,
bootleg.
bootleg a while back. Thank you. And I made the joke. I'm like, so what you're telling me is it's the size of a tag. So I could run the 75 millimeter Oyori girl as a tag, and then the 35 millimeter girl as the tag pilot. And on Hell Jumper was like, no, I'm just trying to compare. I'm like, no. This is perfect. Don't fight it. It's beautiful. I'm gonna have it's gonna be Attack of the 200-foot woman.
And yeah, right now for Ajax, all I have right now is just a photo. It's the same concept art photo that they have in the books, but
Yep.
apparently that's what the sculpt is going to be, just like that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see because that was something that people asked for a lot actually. People were really confused uh, why when Ajax came out he didn't look like his concept art at all.
He was the screaming ape with the hammer and said he was a golf swinger.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I like the current Ajax sculpt, but you're like, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of power in that other one.
Yeah, and for a Kickstarter, it's got some good stuff. It's hit the funding goal. You can get the 4 sculpts for um, a good price. It's a very good deal instead of buying them separately. Uh, and then they've got hit some stretch goals already. You can purchase the bus stands. They've got stickers. They've got bases for some of this stuff already. You can pick up a uh, special deal Vallejo colors with a harder Steinbeck airbrush.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, dang it, because I just bought a new airbrush. Oh man.
But they're even gonna come out. One of the future stretch goals is a PDF guide for how to paint, which I think will be really nice.
I believe it's already been unlocked.
Has it?
Yeah, I believe so.
120?
Well, there's one, but then there's like an additional PDF that they're looking to unlock.
Oh, yeah. So they're 104,000 right now, and with still 27 days to go.
Yeah. So have you jumped in on this Kickstarter?
Yes.
I got
the Valentine because I backed Kingdom Death, but like once I finally found out Kingdom Death was live, a lot of the day one early birds were gone, and really kicking myself on that because some of that stuff was really, really good deals for total pledges. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm like, if they got an earlier bird going on for this one, I'm going to wake up. And it was 4 a.m. is when the Kickstarter went live. I wake up, I'm like, cool. I'm going to get this early bird. And it's a 24-hour early bird. I'm like, I could have slept in. I picked up the Valentine's Day pack. So I'll be getting all 4 bust and the Ayori pilot. And I'll probably have to add on for Ajax.
I might have you add on a couple of things for me too. Again, I'm not sure I actually want to paint one of the busts, but there's a few other things in there that I think are nice.
Yeah, I think busts are very interesting medium to paint. I've heard a lot of miniature painters say that it's a lot more freedom when they go to the bust scale because you're not having to deal with tiny lines. Like trying to do eyes on Colby here. Very pain in the butt, but doing eyes on this bust is going to be a lot easier. Just let you open up more in your painting skills.
Yeah, like I said, it hasn't that bug just hasn't struck me yet. But at the same time, I'm like, I look at, because first of all, like the Ouija pilot, I'm not interested in like at all. Like,
the miniature that just came out.
Yeah, I'm like, nope. I'm sorry. I don't think that's a great model. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but at the same time, I'm like, there's nothing interesting or exciting going on here.
Her legs are posed weird. I don't know if it's just like because like we've seen in like the Combined Army pilot, the photo that they took of her is like, why is she, you can't see her face or anything, but then they do a 360 and you're like, oh, that's a really cool looking sculpt. But the Ouija pilot, she just looks very much like an anime girl.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, thank you. So I think in the future, I'm planning on picking up the Ouija, and I'll just use the Oyori pilot. I don't think anybody would ever complain about it.
No.
And then also, I might just pick up the Oyori too, because I started looking like, it's a tag with crazy koalas.
Yeah.
And martial arts. That's really cool. So,
but is it only vanilla or?
I believe it's Japanese sectoral.
Okay.
So I don't know. Right now, I've just been doing vanilla Eugene, so I haven't committed to one group or the other.
Good way to do it. But yeah,
Yeah.
talking about painting and everything, you missed a really good class yesterday, Casey.
I know. Why don't you tell us about it just a little bit?
So yesterday, as part of the Salt City Gladiator Games, and then as part of community development, we were able to get Mr. Justin from Secret Weapon Miniatures to come out to Utah and did a day class and taught 1 day class, but 3 classes altogether.
Yeah, what was it, like an 8-hour class?
8-hour class, but he's like, no, I've got all the time in the world, so it stretched out to 10.
Oh, wow. Cool. And so what all did you guys cover?
First thing we covered was light color composition, and I think that's like the one thing of painting that I'm having the hardest time getting there. It's how you tell a story basically with your miniature. Because painting for tabletop, you're just like, all right, get the colors on there, 3 colors up, basing done, cool, it's on the table. But when you're trying to do tell a story and everything, then it becomes a lot more art style of what you're doing.
True.
And so you have where the light's coming in from your miniature, where your miniature is looking, just a whole lot of different stuff. And I took a lot of notes. I'm like, I need to put a lot of that stuff into practice. And then we were doing weathering, the weathering class. So we've got to learn like how to do chipping techniques with salt chipping, hairspray chipping, how to use a whole lot of. What was really cool about Mr. Justin class, it's not, he's like, this is not going to be a class where I'm going to be promoting my product. I will tell you what products I like, what products I don't like, and just go from there. And so got to see a lot of different things going on, and a lot of cool weathering techniques, and especially how to use pigments.
Yeah. That's always nice. I mean, Secret Weapon does have, I'll say, an excellent line of weathering powders. So the fact that he's refraining from just, selling his own stuff is nice.
Yeah, and
when he has every right to. It's not like he's shilling some inferior product. He's like, hey, by the way, here's the industry standard.
Yeah, and even then, so he was talking a lot like with a light and composition class. Matthew Fontaine, Aaron Lovejoy, doing a lot of name drops because he gets to meet a lot of these guys, and he's like, yeah, here's how they did it. They're cheating. Here's how the old masters did it. They're cheating, and yeah, it was just like there's especially like when he was talking about airbrush. He's like,
okay, everybody cheats.
Yeah, everybody cheats.
Like,
and it's like how you cheat. And like with airbrush, he was saying, all right, he's like, there's no rule of thumb for airbrush. He says your pressure could depend on the type of a regulator you have, the needle that you have in it, the hose length, just like a whole bunch of different factors. And it's like even then, it could be the paint you put in it, how thick it is, how thin it is, what you want to do with it. He's like, there's no rule of thumb.
That's what I've been learning. Like, the more I get into this and the more I start learning, because like you go online and you say, yeah, somebody, how do I do this? And you're going to have like 20 people who say, this is how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when you really start learning, you're like, nope, there's no hard and fast rules for any of this stuff. It's like, find what works for you, and then just kind of see where it takes you. So
yeah,
yeah.
I took my notebook and filled up a couple pages of new stuff, just reference stuff, and then we went down. Then we went to basing, learned how he does his stuff, because he makes bases, and he kind of like, here's how he does to get these techniques.
Yeah. He makes amazing bases.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, easily the highest quality bases in the market.
Yeah, and the guy likes to paint.
No, I'm hearing a noise. I don't care about that.
The guy likes he's a miniature painter, but he also more of a historical. He's he's a certified
Lunatic?
painting judge for historicals.
Hmm.
So a lot of his stuff is more historical based. So learning a lot of different techniques on how he does how he sets up basing and all that. It was really great to get a broader view on this hobby.
Yeah. So, well, hey man, that's about all the time I've got time for tonight. And I've got a few family commitments here I've got to get to.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for joining us on the show. Hopefully, we'll be back next week. Life does get in the way for us sometimes, but hopefully, we can get Casey posting his cool painted stuff on the Facebook page, so you guys can check that out. But that is it for us tonight. If there's anything you wanted to see or anything you want to talk about, put it down in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. Like this video, share it with friends, subscribe if you want to see more. Casey, anything else?
No, that's just it. As always, if there's anything you'd like to point us towards or like to talk to us about, shoot us an email at theatomicsalt@gmail.com. This has been The Atomic Salt, and LVO and Mr. Justin and Luxumbra and a whole lot of things have blown our minds.
Yes, they have. All right, folks, have a good night. See you next time.